Hello, everyone. This is Nicholas Chad Roth, the Associate Editor of The Impact here at Mercer University. Today I'm here at the Westchester campus, where today we're celebrating Veterans Day in honor of those who have fought for our freedoms and liberties in this country. So let's take a look inside at the brunch. There's a bunch of people there. Let's talk to some people who, have experience in the service, but also some people to just see what their thoughts are on Veterans Day and what it means to them.
Nicholas, what do I think is important for our students to understand about Veterans Day? I think every day that they wake up, they have choices. They're choosing to go to school right now. They're choosing what they put on to come to school. There's so much freedom in these choices. And our veterans have done an outstanding job in allowing us to have the freedoms that we have.
Today, at Mercer University's Larry Bone Conference Room, students, staff, and veterans held brunch to commemorate Veterans Day and honor those who have served in America's armed forces.
Veterans Day to me, for lack of better words, means kind of like peacefulness. I wake up in the morning and I just know that because of veterans and active duty and everything alike, that I get to walk outside, I get to do what I want to do, just enjoying the freedoms that come with what veterans and active duty provided.
Veterans Day means to me free Dunkin' Donuts coffee and free chow. No, frankly, to me, it's just, another day. I don't need to have a national, recognition of veterans to sort of to understand what veterans do, and sometimes we come home and sometimes we don't make it home. I made it home from Central America, and I'm very grateful for that.
All of the veterans attending claim their impulse to enlist started at home.
We were kind of a Navy family. My dad was in the Navy in World War II. My brother in the Navy, all of my uncles. It was a tradition for us.
My father and all of my uncles were in World War II, and then my mother was riveting bolts on planes to be sent overseas. I mean, I just grew up. And my father, as a merchant marine, would go to Vietnam. In college, I didn't know what I wanted to do in life, so I figured, man, let's try the military. And then I went to the military and I did ROTC.
I had a cousin in the Marine Corps, and I remember it was Christmas Eve one time, and I got a big old Christmas party in my family, an Italian. He walked in his dress blues one day, and I just looked at him and I was like, man, I want to be that.
Manuel Ron, a business and finance professor who served in the U.S. military, continues to apply the valuable lessons he learned during his service to his everyday life.
After the military and sort of the activities that I had to undertake, not in the military schools, but in actual life in the military, I lost all of my fear. When you're exposed to certain things in the world and in life, and you can see how this is the worst that can happen, and it's bad, you say, all right, well, what's the worst that's going to happen? Because of that, I was able to create or craft a career for myself that if I can survive, the jungles of Central America, I can do anything.
Greg Mazza, 31, a Marine Corps veteran, describes how his service influenced his view on freedom.
It's a wake up. You kind of see it from the other side where you're doing the serving part. And then when you see like your best friend be like, oh man, I'm going to like this party, or I got into this school or whatever. And he's like, everything like that. You can be like, man, you know what? Like I helped for that. So it's kind of like a personal like thank you, or like a personal gratitude aspect of it. Like if you go to a park, you see kids laughing, that's like it's an automatic thank you. You don't need anything besides that.
Mercer University's program director for legal studies described how students can honor and recognize veterans on the holiday.
Well, first of all, if you know a veteran, to reach out to them and to thank them for their service. My husband's son is a veteran, and I'm doing this in service of him, and my father is a Marine, was a Marine. The second is, if you're not aware of the soldier experience, to take a look at history, to take a look at Pearl Harbor. And the third is to become more aware of when we talk about war. That was certainly an issue during the presidential election. What does that mean to be in war? What does that mean to serve in war? What does that mean for us to support people that we know that are serving our country? We use the word sacrifice. We use the word service. And when you see or when you experience from someone that has served in World War II, and there are not very many people left, veterans left, or the Korean War, or the Vietnamese War, or the Afghan War, you get an idea as to what the sacrifices were.
As brunch wraps up, our veterans conclude with final remarks.
Every day should be Veterans Day. Veterans are a unique group of individuals of all genders. The idea of the Veterans Administration as a support system needs to be supported because there are too many homeless veterans. There are veterans that don't always make the transition into a certain vocation or avocation, and I have seen too many homeless veterans. So something really needs to be done about that.
Being a veteran, whether or not, like myself, you saw combat or you didn't see combat, it doesn't really matter. When you do something, even if you don't know people, when you do something that with people that you have something in common, there is a bond, right? And so there will be a bond with other veterans. Those of you who are thinking about joining the military, I would recommend, investigating it, because it's really a process, and most of the military is really not involved in combat. Most of the military is, I'm not going to say a 9-to-5 job, but it's like a regular job. And, with respect to today, thank you for recognizing and
Just remember that it's not always happy Veterans Day, because it's not happy for some of them. Just say thank you for your service, and just know what it's really about, because a lot of people think it's about barbecues when it's not.
Thank you so much for tuning in. This is Nicholas Chad Roth signing off.